Hello, Xiaojie here again. Today's my first morning in a city called São Paulo. And before we start, I want to make sure you have the right props. So grab a cushion for, underneath your buttocks, books or yoga blocks if you have them. And because I don't want to use my friend's books as props, so I'm going to use Mr. Little Birdie. Yeah, so once you get ready, just come to the mat. And today I want to dedicate this yoga video to my new friend Harry. And this video is also for whoever that's experiencing knee issues. If you recently had a surgery or if you experience pain and discomfort in your knees, I know I do. So I do a lot of these exercises to strengthen out my knee, also to even out the sort of imbalances in different parts of the knee, which causes an issue as well. Not only the knee, but in order for us to have strong knees, we also need to have enough flexibility and strengthening our hips and also our ankles. I will try to keep this video short. If you want to do it in the morning, hopefully 20 minutes. Okay? All right, so come to a sitting posture. Put a cushion underneath your hips and come to an easy sitting posture is with your legs crossed right in front of you at the shin bone. And let's just settle in for a minute. Drop your shoulders down. Turn your attention inward. Notice what's happening within the body. Notice the breath. Notice how you feel in this moment. And think about the wonderful things that you have planned today. And try to install the kind of hope and joy right at the beginning of the session to help us to start the day. Next, inhale, slowly open your eyes and relax the shoulders down. All right, we're gonna start by laying down on the mat. Okay, so first thing we do is to lay our torso, the back, on the ground and make sure there's no, you can tilt your sitting bone a little bit so there's no space between the lower back and the mat. Just take a feeling of where your back is, right? We sit so much, sometimes we don't even know how neutral back feels like. So this is how it feels like. Start to engage the core. On your next inhale, grab onto the back of the thigh. So we do the right leg first. Left knee on the ground. As we inhale, we extend the knee. You can point your toes. And exhale, relax. Keep the core engaged slightly, and we do that one more time. Inhale, extend. Point the toes, exhale, relax. And we're going to do it a couple of more times. This is a very gentle way to wake up the knee. Yeah, so for those who have knee issues, even just straighten the knee in the morning, it is quite a bit of a challenge. You can hear, at least in my right knee, I can hear sound. So be very gentle and remember, I'm a psychotherapist, not a physiotherapist. So do consult your doctors if you have very severe issues. This is simply a guidance for exercise. Your body is your own teacher. So if you experience any sharp pain, and pain that's screaming at you to say, stop doing this, you gotta be very respectful of your own body. All right, so listen to your own body. We'll do a couple of more times. We're gonna pick up the pace later, but for this round, just gonna do it as gentle as possible. Relax the shoulders. We keep the tailbone tucked in. You might start to feel the thighs start to get a bit tiring. Okay? So this is also very good to exercise the front of the thigh as well. So every time we extend our knee, we're pulling the kneecap up. All right, and exhale, put the right leg down. Foot on the mat, knee towards the ceiling. On your next inhale, hands behind the left thigh, behind the thigh. Again, as we inhale, we'll first engage the core. Exhale, relax. Inhale one more time, extend the knee, point the toes, and relax as you exhale. So pair each movement with the breath. When our body and our breath is synchronized, it brings peace to the mind. So no need to rush. You can do it fast, you can do it slow, but we're going to be here for about 20 minutes. Right? Might as well use the time to jumpstart the morning with some peace, some calmness while exercising our knee. We do the extension, and you will notice if you have very strong foundation in the hip area. So the hips are pretty stable. And when you extend and release the knee, you should feel your body is stable. If not, there are other exercises that we're going to go through today to strengthen the thighs, the hips. Two more times. And release. Place your foot down, back onto the mat. All right, now we're gonna go onto the side of the mat. Okay, this is where we need to strengthen the glute medius, which is the muscle here. So when we walk, these muscles help us to walk in a straight line without wobbling too much, right? So the stable hips will protect the knees. Okay, so we lie on the side. I'm on my left side. You can have your right hand on the mat. Now we do a kick towards the back and up. A few more times. So it's just not just kicking up, but kicking to the back. It's also to strengthen the glute muscles, relax the head. Sometimes in the morning I can feel a strain in my neck. So you can also just move your neck a little in this exercise to strengthen and work through those knots in your neck as well. This is also very tiring, so it's one of those small muscles in the body. It's quite important as well. A few more times. Engage the core here as well. Strong foundation in the hip area. One last time. And bring it down. All right. Now, sit up. All right, we're going to stretch. So after each strengthening exercise, we want to stretch it out as well. Okay, so it depends on how your knee is feeling. This could be very intense for some people. If your hips are not very open, then you can't stack your knee on top of one another. Then you just place your knee up towards the ceiling, right? So the important thing is to have both sitting bones comfortably on the mat, not up. If this is up, and then you just need to move your foot to wherever that allow you to land your hips both evenly pressing onto the ground. Right? So my hips are pretty open. I can do this, all right? So as long, the intention here is to stretch the glute medius that we just were exercising. All right. So if this already feel like 80%, for some of you it might be 100%, and just stay here. I myself need to start to move forward a little bit more to feel the stretch working for me. All right. So you can stop any time. This is not a competition. This is us being nice to our own body. All right. So take the ego out for this session. On your next inhale, slowly start to sit up. All right, now lay onto the other side of the mat. The right knee bent. Okay, my right forearm is on the mat. Extend the left leg down. You still engage the core here, so strong foundations. Once you have it here and you're ready, start to kick it back and up. Woo, and down. Few more times. And you don't even need to raise your leg that high if you feel like, oh, I'm not breathing enough, right? So any kind of yoga posture you need to breathe through. But the breath is also a compass that tells us how much effort that we make, right? So make sure you can breathe whatever you're doing. It shouldn't affect the breath too much. Usually after a few, 10 round of kicks, you will start to feel like, you're holding breath. And then sometimes that's when you need to stop as well. So cultivate that sense of just listening to our own body. A few more times, you're allowed to move your neck in any directions. Last time. Oh, all right. Okay, come up. I was on 2 international flights back to back. I wonder why I'm so sore today. I don't have enough strength, probably because of that. And winter, in Beijing. All right, so now we stack the knee on top of one another. Depending on how your sitting bones are, you might want to move your leg. The knee facing towards the ceiling. Make sure that both bones are in the mat, sitting very evenly on the mat. As long as you feel a stretch on the side, and that's what we intend for. Okay, so I'm gonna come here. Okay, and we just relax into the posture. There's a lot of stretches happening on the side. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. Release all the tension built in the last 30 seconds or so. Two more breaths here. See if you can relax into this posture passively. Just surrender. On your next inhale, start to sit up. All right. Now we come to the whichever direction for you, but we come to the all fours. And I'm gonna put my right leg between my hand, and you can have a cushion. Yeah, you can have a cushion here for your knee. And this is a low lunge. So I tuck my left toes under. I'm on my right leg. Okay. So here I slowly start to rise up, place my hand here. Well, first we stretch the hip crest here, right? Enough flexibility, help us to have more mobility, to move around, yeah. Just gently breathe here. So you can bring the lower belly in. You can come up a little if that works better for you. So do adjust the posture of your hips, the position of your hips accordingly. And exhale, relax. All right. Now, come up by placing your left foot with the right hip width distance apart. Drop your forehead down. You can grab onto the opposite elbow. You can also just let your hands naturally fall on the ground. Extend the knees. You can pedal your feet left and right. And now we're getting ready for the other side. So place your cushion where your knees is going to land. As we inhale, we pick the right leg back. Toes on the ground. Drop the knee down on the mat. Adjust the distance as needed. Right? And slowly come up. So whatever you decide to do, your pelvis is still facing the ground, not tilting, right? So adjusting any way you can to make sure our pelvis is facing directly towards the ground. I can go low because my hips are pretty open. Feel the stretch on the right hip crease and stay there. Relax the shoulders. I know it could be a lot for some people, and you can have yoga blocks here if that helps. Few more breaths. Stretch out the muscles in the front of the hips. And slowly lower your hands down, tuck your toes under, and send your hips forward. Now this time, halfway left, and fold forward. Bend your knees as much as possible. No space between the thighs and the abdominal. As we inhale, we come to a chair pose. So excuse me. So grab your yoga blocks, in my case, my little birdie. So you can place it between the knees. Yeah. Do you want to squeeze the knees in one another and tucking your tailbone, engage the lower back, make sure your rib cage are not popped open, they're in a neutral position. Raise your hands. It might be easier if you just place your hands here, because the focus right now is in how my knees are feeling. We're strengthening the knees, right? So all 10 toes are pointing forward. We're strengthening the thighs, engaging the hips, the lower back. So it's the lower body that we're placing most intention on. Try to feel the strengthening of the knees. One last breath here. As we inhale, move the blocks, and exhale, start to fold forward. Pedal your feet left and right. I'm going to do it one more time. I already lost the track of time. I don't have my watch, so hopefully I can more or less be 20 minutes video. All right, one more time. Grab yoga blocks or your books and start to come up. All right, let's make it easy. Hands by the chest, relax the shoulders down, tucking the tailbone, and squeeze your knees in one another. Release the toes so we're not balancing, grabbing onto the yoga mat. We are balancing on all four corners of our feet, which is how we need to walk as well. So when we have imbalances in our body, sometimes our toes intervene too much and they become the way that, we walk by default, right? So we shouldn't really use our toes to balance, even when we walk. Not all the time. All right, remove the block. Exhale, bring your torso towards the ground. Bring the kneecap up, so I'm strengthening the thighs. Relax the head. As we inhale, we come to a halfway lift. Exhale, we bring the right leg back. All right, this time, we're gonna do some dynamic movement. So depending on how your knee is feeling, you can adjust how much you bend your knee according to your own body. All right. So when we're here, we're on two ski tracks, not in one line, right? So your left foot and your right foot are on two tracks. Move your hips down. Now bring your hands to the hips. All right, so when you're ready, start to bend the right knee and just dip it to wherever you feel like, okay, that's enough of a stretch. All right, so for me, I can feel, yeah, I'm okay today here, so I'm gonna drop my knee all the way down. So even though this is all the postures today are pretty basic, but none of them are very easy if you're putting your attention and time and energy into it. Go very slowly, right? So if you feel like, oh, the next few postures, I need to take a notch down and do that. So this is a process befriending your body, because the rest of the day, how the world works is it, consumes so much of our energy in our body. Right? So this is where we do the opposite. One last time. This is a lot. And up. All right. Extend the left leg. The right leg press down 45-degree. Both hip bones are facing forward. Start to inhale, move your torso back, but the hips move the torso towards the front, and then the hips back. Exhale, hands onto blocks. Yeah, if you have blocks. If you don't, then sometimes it's okay to press onto the shin, just never on the knees. Yeah, if you're very flexible, you can place the hands on the ground. Continue to adjust your hips so both hip bones are facing forward. You can drop your head towards the shin bone. Inhale, bend your knee. Start to move your center forward, bring the right foot forward. Now extend the left leg back. Bend your right knees. Place both hands on the ground. As you inhale, bring the heart center forward. Align the knee right above the right ankle. Slowly put your hands on the waist and stand up. High lunge on the right side. Settle your hips towards the ground, the pelvis pointing towards the ground. Relax the shoulders, relax the head. See if you can drop your knees down on the exhale. Then slowly bring up on your inhale. Be careful and listen to your own body. This is quite an intense stretch on the left quads and the knee. Make sure you do it with your own breath, with your own rhythm. As you exhale, dip the knees down, stabilize yourself. You can hold on to a wall or a chair if you have any. Do it a few more times. Really pay attention to how your knee feel. If you need to take a notch down and not bend that much, not drop the knee all the way down to the ground, that's okay too. Now drop the left foot down into a warrior one. Place both hip bones forward. Your feet are still on two tracks. As we inhale, we start to move the heart center forward. As we exhale, we bring the torso towards the right thigh. You can place your hands on the shin bone so you can have a straight back, or you can place your hands on two blocks right along side of the right leg. Important thing here is to have a straight back so we're not hunched. Feel the stretch in the right hamstring. Engage the thigh, so put the kneecap on. See if you can drop your head towards the feet, but most importantly is the torso towards the knee. Staple hips, breathe naturally. Feel the stretch, continue to engage the thigh. You can make micro movement to adjust your body. And then next, inhale, come up halfway, bend your knees. Place the left foot in the front of the mat alongside with the right. Now, exhale. Go back to a plank posture. You can drop your knees down, come to a chaturanga, upward dog, or a cobra. So you can place the thighs, the hips on the ground. Continue to extend your heart center forward. If you feel like you want a deeper stretch, you can come to an upward dog with your hips and your knees away from the mat. And then bring yourself up back into a downward facing dog. Bend your knees as needed. Straighten the front of the body. Straighten and elongate the back. You can bend your knees here. When you have some space, you can slowly drop your heels towards the mat without compromising the front of the body, the torso. Breathe here. On your next inhale, start to come down to the floor in your own way. And now we relax into the last posture, Shavasana. Close your eyes, start to bring your awareness back to the breath. Relax all parts of the body. Give up any tension you're holding in your muscles. Breathe naturally. Release the energy. Let your body reintegrate. Just observe what comes up in this moment. See if you can relax the forehead, the chest, the hips, the knees, and the ankles. Allow yourself to be in this moment. Just feel the breath, feel the relaxation, charging you up to prepare yourself for all that's gonna come today. Bring a sense of appreciation for yourself for showing up the last 30 minutes on the mat, caring for your own body, caring for your own mind. You can stay here as long as you need if you don't need to go to work, or if it's nighttime there, that move yourself to a bed and fall into sleep. But if you do need to get on with the day, you can also start to connect with yourself, with your body. Start to wiggle your toes and your fingers. Slowly bring yourself up in your own way and come to a sitting posture with your legs crossed right in front of you. Either an easy cross-leg sitting posture, or in my case, a half lotus sitting posture with your hands on the knees. You can have your hands in the Chin Mudra, symbolizing you surrender into what's gonna come today without resistance, and having faith that life is gonna unfold in its own way. We're gonna close the session with the hands in front of the heart. Bow down to your heart. Namaste. Hands back onto the knees. Start to open your eyes. I wish you a wonderful day. And thank you for being here with me. I'll see you in our next video.